Hello there, and welcome back to the audio neighborhood. We're looking at the Kinera Celest Pandamon today. This is another attempt from Kinera to make a sub $100 planar, coming in at around 50 bucks. Uniquely though, the package I was sent comes with an external microphone for gaming or voice communications, and a dongle DAC as well. They're really attempting to go for the complete package here. So let's get into it. Let's start with the build as a whole. The Pandamon was sent to me with the IM, a dongle DAC, and a secondary cable with an attached boom microphone. I really like the idea of the package here, and while the IM itself costs around $50, the package here will run you $88 all included. But let's start with the bad, the dongle DAC. This thing is a Realtek driven chipset, and to be honest, it just doesn't sound that good. It's very bland, overly dry, and a bit dead sounding. I likely will use this as means to capture audio from my wireless microphone in the future, but I couldn't in good conscience recommend this to anyone to listen to music. It certainly doesn't do this IM any favors. I do really like the microphone itself though, which is named Ruyi, by the way. However, there are a few caveats regarding its use that you will likely want to take into account before making this purchase. You can buy it with the Pandamon for only a few bucks more, or separately for $29. First of all, the mic is relatively heavy, and its cable is somewhat bulky, and whatever IM you choose to use with it, the Pandamon or otherwise, it will need supportive ear tips to feel comfortable in the ear. The stock Pandamon ear tips were not sufficient for me, and I found SpinFit ear tips or Asla Sedna EarFit as elastic ear tips the most comfortable. I also found the included Pandamon itself to be a bit lightweight for the microphone, and I had better success with the Moondrop LAN or Lecture Galileo. Sound quality of the microphone also isn't going to replace a true XLR microphone for gaming or for voice chat, but it's just as good as a cell phone and has an ease of use factor to it, being limitedly intrusive when one is on camera. So the build of the IM itself has its pros and cons. Negatively, it is a build mostly out of plastic, and again, it's a bit too lightweight for my preferences. The nozzle is also a bit too long, and its angle is a bit too aggressive for my ear canals at least, but everybody's genetics are different, so your mileage may vary. Even so, with the boom mic attached, it exacerbated this issue for me and was uncomfortable and difficult to seal with stock ear tips. The plastic itself appears to be of a rugged enough quality, however, and I like that these are intended to be an open back or at least a semi-open back. 2 sets of silicone ear tips, a cleaning brush, a carrying pouch, a stock cable, and a tin panda figure come in the box as well. The cable itself reminds me of the cables that came with the Olinas. I didn't love those cables either, but this one is mildly less prone to tangles and mostly just fine. The hardware is also of a nicer metal and a good quality for the price, however. But let's quickly dive into the sound. This is really a great sounding planar for the price. It isn't going to best good planar magnetic IMs at or beyond $100, but under $100, it's definitely the best option that I've heard to date. But outside its general level of quality, it's kind of hard to tell you exactly what it sounds like. You see, the Pandamon is more of a chameleon than it is a bear, as it takes on the character of its source signal in most cases. Off of warmer amplification, the Pandamon took on warmer tones. With a greater, less revealing source, it was also a bit unrefined, while with more impressive signal, the Pandamon also became more impressive. Even so, I'd say the timbre ranges from warm to neutral depending upon the source. The stage was less impressive off of more run-of-the-mill amplification though, but off of the Tube Hybrid Bravo Audio Ocean amplifier on my desktop and the Hides DH80S, the stage gained depth, immersion, and dimension. So it seems that these respond well to power, as long as the powerful source isn't too lean or bright. Separation and instrument distinctiveness was neither standout nor deficient, but transients and other aspects of technical performance still generally good enough for the price. Vocals did have the tendency to err towards being a bit thin, here or there at least, depending upon the track, but were mostly inoffensive overall. Harshness, sibilance, and aggressivity were not problems that the Pandamon demonstrated, but global note weight and dynamics, while somewhat amplifier dependent, could have been better for the most part, but were still suitable as a planar magnetic IM. So the bass performance is ample, but rather linear and not overwhelming. There isn't a ton of sub-bass here, but it can dig deep enough on occasion, and there is a decent amount of energy to the bass without going overboard. With that said, this is not a bass headset, and the bass fits in like a puzzle piece in the right place, more so than standing out in any particular way. The mid-range and upper mid-range frequencies have good presence levels and were well represented and slightly forward in their character, but presence regions and initial brilliance regions are less represented in the mix. Still, things rebound around 8K or so, and the treble extension is good, despite a notable lack of air and energy in the treble to the ear. So the Pandamon is more of a mid-centric set than it is a treble head's masterpiece. Still, those that would describe its treble as blunted or clipped are going too far. Instead, I would refer to it as being a rather realistic and somewhat calm treble experience. So for their $60 price, the planar performance of the Pandamon is pretty hard to beat. I do wish the bill was a bit more substantial, but for the price of the package here, I really can't complain, as one is getting a lot of bang for their buck. But before I go, it would really help me out if you make sure that you're subscribed to the channel and that you smash a like on this video. It would also be helpful if you followed the channel at all other Neighborhood Access locations, including Instagram, Twitter, www.intoitreviews.com, or became a Patreon. The Patreon will get you access to early reviews. And with that, I'm out for now.